if you look at the stats, this is as perfect a football team as the English game's ever seen, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, it's remarkable what they're doing, Rebecca, and the habit they're in right now. Was it a perfect game for Liverpool? No, it wasn't. Was it more open and a little bit, you know, both teams should have scored more goals. Both teams missed chances. Both teams' forwards never turned up until Mo Salah did that at the end there with the Alisson drop kick. Just a remarkable game of football. More about Liverpool's durability, more about today. Wasn't about the fullbacks, wasn't about Roberto Firmino. We did all the breakdowns beforehand, and those players didn't really have a massive impact. More about the midfield players, the ones we don't talk about so often maybe. The Hendersons, Wijnaldums and Oxlade-Chamberlains, their work ethic. And Mo Salah, when you think didn't have much of a game, he's strong enough, quick enough, fit enough to score at the end to put the game to bed. But I tell you what, it was an entertaining game, and United did a better job than I expected, given the players they had out.
Do you think that result, less so the performance, but that result, as we heard at Anfield there, has now calmed some of those Liverpool fans who never wanted to even wish this might happen?
Exactly. Liverpool are doing it in a way, Rebecca, that we haven't seen before, that is breaking records, but they're doing it with an unbreakable spirit. There's something about this group, the work rate, the working for each other, the Mane chasing back, the Salah chasing back and doing what they have to do to win games. And from Liverpool's point of view, what I've loved about Jurgen Klopp is it's just another game. Just like Spurs was another game. Sheffield United was just another game. All these games that Liverpool play are bigger for the opposition than they are for Liverpool, because Liverpool just go into a game with the right attitude. We know these ability, we know these goals, but when you bring that workmanlike attitude to that ability, it's irresistible. And from Liverpool's point of view, it's next. Who's next? Wolves. That's the next job we've got. 90 minutes against Wolverhampton Wanderers is all we're going to worry about.
Clearly, Robbie, from a quality point of view, from a playing point of view, winning every game but one in a season, which is what Liverpool have done so far, is so hard. Yeah. But the attitude and the mentality Robbie Earle talked about there, how do you do that mentally, go into every game and win it?
Well, and that's the key, and I love it, and I love the fact we're talking about it, because so often it's not talked about, Rebecca. We talk about the flair and the skill and these amazing players and the assisting and goals and everything else, but it is about mentality, and most champion teams are mentally fantastic. You know, United's team of the 90s, mentally very, very strong. They've got it. It comes from the manager, of course. It comes from the manager. Not every player had that inbuilt in them. Good attitudes, good signings, good solid signings, but he's brought a mentality level to it.
So tell me how you bring a mentality.
Well, through man management himself, through his team talks, through his training sessions. Right. You know, we understand that training is done like a game. It's that intense, it's that fast, it's that energetic, and that mentality goes into games where the habit becomes strong. On top of various leaders in the dressing room that make sure that that mentality and that honestness and workmanlike stays every single game, and that's really their key strength.
Pillars in your dressing room, we've talked about them before. Van Dijk, Henderson, Milner, great people in your dressing room, Rebecca. But I go back to last week. Lo Celso had a chance in the last minute for Tottenham Hotspur. The game was 1-0, and Jurgen Klopp went crazy. Absolutely crazy on the touchline to Van Dijk, to Gomez, to Trent Alexander-Arnold. He demands so much of them that every week, every little detail is so important. So when I've got to pick a man up under Jurgen Klopp, I'm not going to let you go. If you're Virgil van Dijk and you're running against me, you're going to have to run through me to get your head to the ball.
We are going to hear from the Liverpool captain, Jordan Henderson, and Mo Salah shortly. Let's just go through, shall we, the story, though, of what was quite a game at Anfield and quite a result for Liverpool. Let's pick it up in the 14th minute, 1-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, corner kick routine. Trent Alexander-Arnold with the ball, Virgil van Dijk with the header, and we'll break this down a little bit. Number 53, Brandon Williams. His job is just to body against Virgil van Dijk. He's not there to mark him. The job of Lindelof and Maguire, they see there, is to go and attack the ball. They're in the zone. They're not picking up. They have no picking up responsibilities. Just go and head the ball. But look at number 4, Virgil van Dijk. He's up off the ground before any Manchester United player can get close to him. It's a brilliant header. It gives Liverpool the lead to go 1-0 ahead. And they thought it was going to be 2, and Van Dijk's involved again here. There's a challenge between Van Dijk and De Gea. The keeper drops the ball. The referee doesn't blow the whistle, and so at this point, Liverpool continue to play. The ball finds its way to Roberto Firmino. It's a brilliant finish. Look, Manchester United, you expect, go crazy. David De Gea goes over the top a little bit with his descent, earns himself a yellow card. Because of that, But then the referee does go to VAR, and it's seen as a clear and obvious decision that it's a foul on the goalkeeper. Van Dijk jumps into the arms of De Gea, stops the goalkeeper winning the ball. It is a foul. The referee gives that decision that there's no goal. They only get a couple of chances as the half wore on. Manchester United got a little bit better as the first half wore on, and there's a chance coming up here for Andreas Pereira, who should do better, really. Ball comes across from Wan-Bissaka, and he knows Pereira looks like he's onside, and if he gets a touch to the ball here, he could steer it in on goal, and Manchester United would be level. And just before the break, Sadio Mane had a chance to make it 2-0. He's got 11 Premier League goals this season, club leading for Liverpool. This is a good save from David De Gea. We've seen this a few times over the years, De Gea using his feet to get the ball away. 1-0 at the break.
In the second half, plenty more chances went begging before they added.
That's right, Rebecca, and that was what's surprising about it. I think the goal got United out, and the spaces were created. And I talked earlier about the chances. There should have been more goals scored. Mo Salah here, this is a better angle. I mean, he's 6 yards out, and with his feet, the way that he knows there that he really should have scored.
Henderson on 49.
Yeah, good bit of play from him. He anticipates the ball, he comes onto it, and he realises the space is there. Henderson against the post there, really unlucky there. Again, the technique is right. He takes it further forward. Lee Dixon was right. Lindelof should come out to close him down, but he didn't.
57-minute, Fred with an effort.
Yeah, I thought Fred did OK, by the way, for United's midfield, and he had a couple of these actually where he's made runs through the middle. Not a great shot, and maybe only a half chance, but again, just an example of United finding ways through. Anthony Martial, a player that I've talked about, has got to step up. He's got to be the main man. He's got to do something to elevate his game like Rashford's done this season. This was the moment, a defining moment in this football match. And I know it's not easy. I know it looks frustrated, but really your striker has got to do better with that. An offside here. And then you see this goal from Mo Salah. Dan James, one of the fastest players in the league, number 21, getting back for Manchester United. He's there, but he couldn't stay there because of the strength of Mo Salah. The shirt comes off and we see the muscle.
I'm presented by Volkswagen. It's Liverpool who have the edge in this most fierce of fixtures. Virgil van Dijk with the goal that right now separates the two sides. Welcome inside the studio, Robbie Mustoe, Robbie Earle, alongside myself, Rebecca Lowe. Good afternoon. Let's show you the Geico first half highlights, starting with the goal from Virgil van Dijk. Robbie Mustoe.
Yeah, towering header from the Liverpool centre-half. Look at him attack that ball so well there. It's an easy header. Now, a couple of things here. Brandon Williams, number 53, he's there to bump the player, to stop him having a full run. Doesn't do a great job. And these two players, the two centre-backs, the main man, are in the zone the ball comes into, and it's just not good enough. Not good enough in terms of attacking it. Van Dijk, of course, he's such an athlete, and the way that he jumps to win that was pretty amazing.
Robbie Earle, a clear and obvious error by the referee disallows their second.
Yeah, it's a brilliant finish by Roberto Firmino as the ball finds its way to him after Liverpool win it back. Here's a ball to Firmino. Here's the finish. Liverpool think they may have got a second. David De Gea goes over the top with his protest and ends up getting himself a yellow card because of that dissent at the referee. And we do go to VAR. There's the yellow card for De Gea. We do go to VAR, and it is a clear and obvious error. You can see Van Dijk jumps into the arms of De Gea. The goalkeeper is fouled. It's given, and the goal's ruled off. And then a chance for either side. Andreas Pereira, who's played a little higher than we thought in a central role. Ball comes across from Wan-Bissaka, and he doesn't get the contact he needs to bring United level. And at the other end, Sadio Mane leads the club with 11 Premier League goals. It's a good save from De Gea with a foot just turned it over the top.
So just the one goal in it then. How do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be feeling at this half-time break?
I think he'll be annoyed with his centre-backs for not doing better on a set piece. Liverpool have had a few corners. He's always going to be the main threat of Virgil van Dijk. There was not enough aggression in that challenge. Other than that, we saw the same system as they did back in October, and they've had a couple of looks, just a couple of looks from wide areas where Liverpool haven't quite filled spaces. But in the second half now, that's going to open up. You saw Mane's chance at the end of the first half. There will give up more chance to Liverpool on the hope of getting something going forward. But I think, you know, in terms of what they've got, he'll be reasonably satisfied that there's been a couple of looks to give him some sort of encouragement. How
surprised would you be, though, if United got back into this second half?
A little surprised, because one of the things I think Liverpool have done over the last year to 18 months is manage games better. There's an incredible work rate from that midfield. Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Wijnaldum have done a really good job, and the boys have mentioned it in commentary, at stopping passing lanes into the Manchester United forward players. So Pereira, so James, so Martial haven't had that much options, that much ball, because the midfield have done such a good job. They've got to continue to keep that in the discipline, and then they've got a chance of getting a second goal.
Yeah, the way that Liverpool can win in different ways has shown itself in a goal from a set piece and might continue to show itself in the second half, because I think the game could have a little bit of a different flow about it. I think Liverpool might drop off as United try and get back into the game, and we know what they've got in terms of pace going forward and counter-attacking. That's where you might see a goal from Liverpool.
You make the point about the centre halves. Liverpool come into this game on 6 straight clean sheets. They've kind of got that they can go back to. With Van Dijk, who's a monster back there, you just feel that, you know, if they need to, they can sit back and then look to counter-attack Manchester United. The pressure's on United. They've got to get a goal.
And you believe, before the game, you still believe that it's a bigger game for United?
Yeah, absolutely.
OK, so you're both going to go with Liverpool, though, to win the game ultimately?
Yeah,
OK, they do lead at the break at the moment. Just want to point you in the direction of a 90-minute goal zone we've got coming your way this afternoon on air until 3 o'clock. We're going to have all that post-match analysis and sound from the game at Anfield. The two Robbies will bring you a tactics session, a teaser from inside the mind of Mo Salah. It's really worth your time. A complete recap of all of yesterday's goals in the Premier League, and we'll preview Tuesday's match between Chelsea and Arsenal. So Virgil van Dijk has scored 8 Premier League goals since the start of last season, the most by any defender in the league. It is 1-0, but United are still in this, in both spirit and in scoreline. Back in a tick.